For the initial ideas of my music magazine, my dance music magazine, my primary audience would be males aged 18 to 25 because typically they listen to this modern genre of music. My secondary audience would be females aged 18 to 25 because they might also listen to this music, but the males, there's a wider range of them. My secondary audience, again, would be males and females aged 25 to 40 because featuring in the magazine would be older artists that they might have listened to. The existing titles includes like Mix Mag, DJ Magazine, Remix, and the frequency that I'd have for my magazine is monthly with a price of £4.50, as this means there'll be a high pagination, glossy pages. It shows the genre that I've done, which is EDM music. There's various sub-genres which I'd cover, which includes like house, which is like quite popular at the moment, drum and bass, which used to be quite popular, which probably still is with aged 18 people to 25. Trap, which is also that's more like underground, but it's still quite popular. Garage is more for the older age, my secondary audience, would you like. Tech, which is still for the aged 18 to 25 males, and Electro, which is again for the age 25 to age. Photography that I'd have to include in my magazine would be like quite high key lighting, like strobe lights, because that's quite typical of clubs like nightclubs where this music is played. There'll be lots of people dancing because it's quite like a physical music, like people get up and dance to it because it's got like a high tempo kind of thing. There'll be lots of technical equipment like DJ decks where like the DJs obviously produce their music. Bright high key lighting, as I said before. Popular artists like Deadmau5, for example, like pictures of them like doing what they do. Serious posing, which I've learned from various like Mix Mag magazine covers, and like clothing, which I've also learned from these magazines, like sunglasses, bright colours, alternative fashion, like modern fashion. The selling point of my magazine would be it would be more of a wider range of genres and subgenres, whereas like other magazines like Remix and House magazine, they're only like their niche. So I want to be wider range to collect like a higher audience. There'd be digital copies like Newsstand for Apple, which a lot of the age range have. There'd be competitions like win free technical gear, for example. There'd be exclusive artists also in the thing where they wouldn't be anywhere else. Like in other magazines they might not be there, but for my one they would, which is a good selling point. So like that's like Disclosure, Hannah Wants, Tiesto, Deadmau5. The institution of my music magazine, I've chosen Development Hell Limited, which is what produces Mix Mag, which is kind of similar to me, but that's why it's like a rival magazine, and they have background knowledge of this field of magazine, so that would be quite good for me. I'd use Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, all those social medias to show behind the scenes because my primary audience uses quite a lot, and it would get them like involved with it, so they'd be linked to it, so which means they'd buy more copies, which is like what I'm aiming to do. My magazine would be linked with the YouTube channel Spinning TV, which is like it produces all this genre of music, which means people that watch this channel might think, oh wow, this magazine looks good, I'll come over here and like look at it, which means I'll get higher sales and profits. And the font of the magazine would be Modern Sans Serif, which is quite typical of this genre of magazine.